Hello and welcome to the Capital OTB Stakes Preview. Sully Crotty in. Mike has other business going on this week, so I'll be doing the Stakes Preview this weekend. This is for the weekend of June 30th, the last day of June, and then we go into July. A reminder to everyone with Capital Bets accounts, we will be taking Nighttime Thoroughbred on the 4th of July, and also from July 1st as well, and also June 30th, we are taking Nighttime Thoroughbred. Also, on Saturday, June 30th, it is the last day for the Churchill Downs bonus account wagering, which is wagered $200 or more. In multiples and exotics, you receive a 3% bonus. You must be enrolled in Player Rewards. Also today, the 30th, OTB on the road. We are at Woodbine. Seth's up there with Brian, Mick, and Shannon. We will have morning shows all weekend long. 8 a.m. Handicaps Report on Saturday, Queen's Plate Day. Saturday, 8 a.m. Handicaps Report with Brian and Seth. And at 9 o'clock, Racing Across America with Seth. That is on Saturday, June 30th, Queen's Plate Day, live from Woodbine Racetrack. Also on Saturday, we have the Queen's Plate Day here at the Clubhouse Racebook. I will be here running it, so come on, stop by and say hello. 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Again, Queen's Plate Day at the Clubhouse Racebook. The first 50 patrons receive a $2 bet voucher, a Woodbine hat, and a racing program. We will also have Jim Bannon's Journal. That will be available for our handicappers who want to bet Woodbine. It's great stuff. He's a big analyst up in Toronto, so take advantage of that. We will have that available for everybody. Also, Sunday, June 1st, Seth and Brian will be live as well for Queen's Plate weekend. That's Sunday, July 1st. OTB on the road at Woodbine Racetrack. Live shows will start at 8:30 on Sunday morning. Handicaps Report with Seth and Brian at 8:30 in the morning. Then 9:30 is the start of Racing Across America with Seth and Mero. Stakes preview here this weekend. Again, I'm by myself. We all have 5 races on the 30th. We'll start out at Belmont Park. We have 1 at Belmont Park, and then we have 4 at Woodbine for their ginormous day. The race at Belmont Park is race number 8, a mile and a 16th. This is the Mother Goose, a very, very nice field. Grade 2 event. This is for 3-year-old fillies going a mile and a 16th. That one turn, mile and a 16th at Belmont Park. And Coach Rocks is in the field, so we wish Coach Rocks a lot of luck, and our good friend Roddy Valeni. And then we have 4 up in Toronto for their huge day at Woodbine Queen's Plate Day. We'll look at race number 6. This is the King Edward. This is a grade 2 event. They're going a mile on the turf course. And then we'll look at race number 8 at Woodbine as well. Race number 8 at Woodbine. This is the Dance Smartly, a grade 2 event. They're racing for $175,000, a mile and a quarter on the turf course. This is for fillies and mares 3 and up. And then we'll take a look at race number 9. This is the Highlander. This is a grade 1 event going at 6 furlongs on the turf course. Very, very nice field in the Highlander. We'll touch upon that shortly. And then we'll end with race number 10 at Woodbine. That is the Queen's Plate, $1 million on the line. This is for 3-year-old Canadian breds going a mile and a quarter on the synthetic. But again, we'll start out in New York. New York's got a very nice Saturday card as well. A couple of the New York jockeys are up north, including Jose Ortiz, John Velasquez, and a couple others are up there for the Queen's Plate Day. But the Mother Goose is still a very nice race, and some people are coming into town, including Mike Smith and Flavian Prat from out in California. But we'll start in numerical order. For the Mother Goose, again, grade 2 event, that one turn, mile and a 16th on the main track. Number 1 is Indy Union. Junior Alvarado is up for Jeremiah Englehart. This horse raced in the Black Eyed Susan last time out against Coach Rocks, lost to Red Ruby and Coach Rocks. I thought was not a bad race at all. Just picked off a little dying horse. You could tell Red Ruby and Coach Rocks, they were the best in that race. Horse is 1 for 1 here at Belmont Park. Has not raced here since it broke the maiden, and looked very impressive that day. But again, last time out in the Black Eyed Susan, I didn't think that was a bad effort. Just picked off a little dying horses in the slop, but it's going to really have to improve here. This horse does have closing speed. There is some other closing speed in this race. To me, I just can't see this horse competing right at this level. I think has a very nice chance to complete some superfectas for the Englehart barn, who has had a really nice meet, winning 17% of the races, but they are 0 for 12 in graded stakes. That will take us to number 2. That is Midnight Bizou. Steve Asmussen trains for Bloom Racing. Mike Smith is in town to ride the horse. And very interesting story. This horse was trained by Bill Spar. They left the Bill Spar bar after a third-place finish in the Kentucky Oaks. I did not think that was a bad run at all. The horse went off as the favorite, lost to Monomoy Girl, who we just saw Monomoy Girl was capable of doing in the Acorn. Warner Godot came in second that day. Warner Godot is running against the boys in the Queen's Plate, who we will touch upon in a little while. But I didn't think it was a bad effort at all. The horse was coming late there in the Kentucky Oaks, looked great in the Santa Anita Oaks. And this horse should probably go off as a favorite, you would think. You would imagine Mike Smith's in town for Steve Asmussen. New training connection. Horse has been working lights out at Churchill Downs. Makes the trip up to Belmont Park and loves the distance. The distance is the one thing I think will attract people to this horse. This horse is 2 for 2 at the distance, and every time this horse ran at the distance, they were really impressive. And as I said, one of them was the Santa Anita Oaks. The other was a grade 3 event out in California as well, looking very, very impressive. Moving on to number 3, that's Most Smart. Todd Pletcher trains David Cohen is up. This is the most balanced horse on paper here. This horse broke the maiden very impressively 2 starts back in February at Gulfstream. Went to Pimlico, ran in an optional claimer, and looked absolutely phenomenal, winning by 14 lengths in the slop. There is a lot of other speed in this race, so maybe trying to wire the field is not the best idea for David Cohen and Todd Pletcher. But if they still have to pace, this horse that has plenty of closing kick, and this horse looks so impressive last time out. To me, this horse does need to run like it did the last 2 starts, but it's running against much, much better, and much better than this horse has seen, especially that Pimlico field and that Gulfstream Park championship meet field. The mile and 16, definitely not a question mark. I want to see how this horse does at the mile and 16th on a fast track. The slop was speed favorite all weekend on Pimlico, on Preakness weekend at Pimlico. The 7 furlongs really wasn't that big of a test for that horse in that maiden race. Went off as an even money favorite. So, again, I want to see how this horse does on a fast track at the mile and 16th. Could be pretty dangerous if it sits right off the pace. It could be a potential upset here. Number 4 is Geo Game. Julian Leparoux up from Mark Casse. And horse that ran a very nice third, I thought, against Monomoy Girl in the Acorn. Came in third that day. Monomoy Girl looked phenomenal. And lost to a nice horse and Talk Vove to me, a horse that took a lot of money. I like Talk Vove to me in the Acorn. Went off 8-1 in the morning line. I think went off maybe 3 or 4-1 that day. But horse seems to be working extremely well at Belmont. A nice bullet work posted on June 22nd. And this horse has raced against some solid horses. This horse beat She's a Julie, who came back and won the next time out. Lost to Go Google Yourself, who was undefeated going into Kentucky Derby weekend and suffered a loss there. And lost by a half a length to Camilla Princess, who's a really nice horse. I liked in a stakes race, came in third a couple weeks ago. So this horse is very, very interesting for Julian Leparoux. Now, is this horse going to play a little catch me if you can? Try to get to the lead against Coach Rocks and others in this field? I don't know if that is the best spot for Julian to do it. So I think there's just a little bit better in here on the speed side of this. But horse has been working lights out here, so watch out. This horse gets to the lead and no one runs. Number 5 is Coach Rocks, going out for Roddy and Valenti, RAP Racing, and West Point Thoroughbreds. Dale Romans trains. And yet, again, this horse looks so great in the Black-Eyed Susan. We were there. We watched her there. We were in the paddock there. So we thank Roddy and all the connections for letting us in. And at the Black-Eyed Susan at Pimlico, she ran a really nice race. Louis Saez was on the mount for the last 4 starts, but they're switching up, going back to a rider who did not ride her bad at all down at Keeneland and Churchill Downs. And one of Dale Roman's guys, that's Robbie Alvarado. So Robbie, he's had a nice year, I thought. He's really picked it up after a slow start. But Robbie's really picked it up. And Coach Rocks fits in here actually really nice. This horse, very versatile. This horse could wire the field like we saw her do breaking the maiden. This horse could sit off the pace like we saw her do in the Gulfstream Park Oaks. The Black-Eyed Susan, she just went to the lead. Red Ruby, just ran a little bit better of a race there. Coach Rocks is 2 for 2 at the distance. Going to make the first-time start here in New York for Roddy Valenti. Again, this horse has been working absolutely sensational, and I'm sure they're all pleased with it because the horse has been working great ever since going into the Kentucky Oaks and has been continuing that, going to the Black-Eyed Susan and now entering the Mother Goose. She has been working sensational, including that June 23rd work, a 2 out of 28. And her bullet work obviously still stands out from before the Kentucky Oaks. A lot to like here with Coach Rock. She might get a little bit of a price with a lot of the attention probably going to go to Midnight Bisou and My Miss Lily, who we haven't touched upon yet. But we'll move on to number 6. That's Road to Victory. Gary Barber owns, Mark Cassie trains. Manny Franco is up, a horse that won 3 in a row, 3 for 3 lifetime. And this horse, the works just are absolute. They are the works of the works. About 4 bullets posted. If they weren't bullets, they were 2 out of 21s or somewhere near the front. This horse just wants to get to the lead and wants to play catch if he can. This horse ran extremely fast at Churchill Downs in that Grade 2 event. Beat Monomoy Girl. Road to Victory. Beat Monomoy Girl by a neck at an 8-to-1 price on very fast fractions at this distance. Road to Victory is very scary in this spot. I think with Manny Franco up, this horse has a legit shot to upset the field. This might be a horse that takes a lot of money as they enter the gate because Road to Victory, 3 for 3, beat Monomoy Girl, who we see how impressive she is, and can handle fast paces from the front end. She's very, very dangerous here as Road to Victory. And then number 7 is My Miss Lily, going up from Mark Henning. Flavian Pratt makes the trip over from Santa Anita End, so he makes a trip over from Los Alamitos to ride My Miss Lily. Flavian Pratt, very, very nice year. He won the spring meet at Santa Anita, defending champion of the Del Mar riding meet as well. And he's a very aggressive rider. My Miss Lily does not need to get to the lead. She likes to run like Coach Rocks. If you don't get the lead, that's okay. I can come off the pace. My Miss Lily wants nothing to do with the lead. She likes to sit 4th or 5th, about 3 or 4 lengths off. And from the outside stall, I think Flavian will have a nice spot here for My Miss Lily. Again, this horse, the Kentucky Oaks wasn't her race. She took a lot of money that day, but it really was not her race. Beat a really nice horse in Sarah Street, who went to run on Preakness weekend as well. And also ran a really nice behind Take Charge Paula. Take Charge Paula, a really nice horse that we saw over the winter at the championship meet. We're very interested to see what her next move is. But again, very attractive that Flavian Pratt comes to ride this horse from Mark Henning, who's had a pretty nice Belmont meet, winning 12% of his races, 13% of his graded stakes. So that is the 7-horse field for the Mother Goose. I went Midnight Bisou on top of Coach Rocks, on top of My Miss Lily, and then I put Road to Victory underneath as well. I just think switching the barns and Mike Smith coming into town. This horse, I think if it runs like it did the last 3 or 4 starts, even in that 3rd place Kentucky Oaks finish, it's going to be tough to beat Midnight Bisou. Coach Rocks in 2nd spot. I think Coach Rocks is great. I liked her in the Black Eyed Susan, a very nice 2nd place finish. And I'm going to like to see her come off the pace. I don't think she wants to get in a speed duel with Road to Victory. I think if she sits off the pace, runs her race like in the Gulfstream Park Oaks, and in the Black and when she broke the maiden, I think she could be very, very dangerous here for Roddy Valenti. And the number 7, My Miss Lily, as we already touched upon, Mark Henning, Flavian Pratt, a lot to like here. This horse is probably the closing speed, wants to sit 3 or 4 lengths off. The outside stall will allow her to do that. Those are my thoughts in the Mother Goose, and now we'll shift our attention to Woodbine. They have, as I said, a very nice card on Saturday. Picked out 4 stakes races there. We'll start with race number 6. Race number 6 at Woodbine. This is the King Edward, a Grade 2 event going a mile on the turf course here, and a very nice field here. And this is a great, great betting race. This is a field of 8. Number 1 is Hollywood Hideaway, 20-1 on the morning line here. Luis Contreras is up, and a horse that just looking at this after a couple starts. This horse raced in the King Edward last year. Really nice race. Came in 5th by a length and a half. He's only raced twice since then. Lost to a nice horse in Fire Away. 2 starts back with Luis Saez. That was in a stakes race at Aqueduct. To me, I think this is a horse that is going to try to get a piece of the purse money. This horse is very balanced on paper, but never really finds her spot in a race. She doesn't know, her best buyer is 100, which is great, which does stand out a little bit here. But other than that, she rides low 40s, high 70s. So she's going to need a lot to go right here. But you get Contreras up, who's a phenomenal rider, winning 14% of his races. Number 2 is Ring Weekend, a horse that we have been familiar with, horse that raced at Saratoga twice last summer and came in 4th in a Grade 2 event, came in 5th in a restricted stakes as well. Jose Ortiz is up for West Point Thoroughbreds. Grand Motion, a phenomenal 2018 for him in Greatest Stakes, 15% winning percentage, and also 40% winning percentage overall at Woodbine. He's not had many mounts, so I understand why that number is so high, but he's had a really nice meet. He had a great Preakness weekend. And you get Jose Ortiz to come on this horse again, to ride this horse again, after winning very, very impressively against some nice horses. This horse lost to Synchrony and Caribou Club. Caribou Club is in this race as well. So a lot to like here with Ring Weekend. A nice closing kick could make things interesting. Number 3 is Tower of Texas going out for Roger Atfield. The timeless wonder is this horse. This horse keeps coming close to $1 million. Can't get there, sitting at $940,000. This horse is a 7-year-old here. There are some other older horses in this race, but this is probably the horse for the course. Loves Woodbine, loves running in the money here. Roger Atfield is so successful here. This horse is winning 28% of his races. Came in second in that Grade 2 event on the grass, going 7 furlongs. Just could not get to the wire. I think the stretch out is perfect for this horse. It's going to be tough to beat Tower of Texas. Number 4 is First Premio, 4-1 on the morning line. Marcassi, Florent Giroux. Excuse me. Horse that won a $100,000 race at Churchill at the end of May. Looks very, very impressive. Lost to a horse that I am very, very high on and should have won a race at 11-1 on Stephen Foster weekend, and that is Mr. Cub. Lost by half a length. If that race was a little bit longer, the horse wins and beats Mr. Cub very, very impressively at a really nice price. This horse also lost to a horse that I'm very high on in Limousine Liberal, who came in third in the Met Mile and also won the Churchill Downs Stakes on Kentucky Derby Day. This horse is probably going to try to get to the lead. Florent Giroux is great when he gets to the lead, especially on the grass. Moving on to number 5, another Roger Atfield trainer. Again, he's winning 28% of his races. 10-1 on the morning line is Shakmat. Shakmat is coming in after running in a couple graded stakes events. Did win a Grade 3 at Gulfstream very impressively. 11-1 price, and lost to a nice horse in Shiny Copper and Hoagie, and lost to Mr. Cub last time out. Took a little bit of money there. So to me, I think it's just a little bit over it. This horse is going to play Catch Me If You Can, as this horse always does, and people always catch this horse. I think the better of the two Atfield entries in here is obviously Tower of Texas. I think this horse just sets up the race for Tower of Texas. Tower of Texas is a stone-cold closer, and if this horse gets to the lead, no one wants to run with it, great. Roger Atfield's in the winning circle. If the horses want to run with it, faster pace sets up the race for Tower of Texas. That's the way I'm looking at it. To me, I think can possibly wire the field. I think there's a little bit too much speed in here for this horse to wire the field. I think a lot of other horses will go ahead and catch this horse for Roger Atfield. Number 6 is Conquest Panthera, 8-1 on the morning line. Patrick Husbands is up for Mark Casse. This horse looked great last time out. Went off as the favorite. Lost to Tower of Texas and Caribou Club, who we will talk about next. This horse is the most balanced horse on paper and the most consistent buyer horse on paper. High 90s or high 80s, a couple hundreds mixed in there, and this horse just loves to run in stakes races. Has a tough time finding the winner's circle, but Woodbine is definitely where this horse loves to run. This horse looked great last time out. I think will be much more impressive the next time out for Gary Barber. And after running in the New York circuit for a little while and then came back, I think the second start in a row here on the Woodbine grass will be much better. The one question mark is 1 for 6 at the distance. Moving on to number 7, that is Caribou Club. 6-1 on the morning line for Tom Proctor. He's 1 for 1 here at the Woodbine meet. He's winning 14% of his graded stakes, and this horse is going to come off the pace as well. This horse ran a Buyer Best 101 last time out at 8-1. I think we'll definitely need to repeat that performance. But if I'm looking for other closers in this race, I would probably side with Mark Casse and Florent Giroux, and definitely Tower of Texas, and possibly Ring Weekend before this horse. This horse has to run the exact same 101 Buyer race for Tom Proctor to win this race. Not saying it's impossible, but might be tough for this horse to do so. And the number 8 is Delta Prince. Javier Castellano is up for Jimmy Jerkins, and this horse has been working absolutely phenomenal at Belmont Park. Back-to-back bullets, a bullet on May 25th, and this horse is on a very long layoff since Saratoga. Lost to Heart and Forge very, very impressively. Came in third that day, and this horse has been working lights out. I think off the layup, this horse is going to be very, very dangerous, but it's tough to run at Woodbine for the first time off a long layup, and we've been seeing that from horses who have been running at Woodbine the entire career, the long layups, and then going back to Woodbine. It's tough for them. So Delta Prince is a little too short for me to take on top, but based off these works, I think could set up the race nicely for some other horses here. So that is the 8-horse field in the King Edward. I'm going to put Tower of Texas on top. I'm high on Tower of Texas. I'm a big fan of Roger Atfield up there. You're not going to get a big price, but You're definitely going to make some money if you can hit an exacta. I'm going to put Conquest Panthera and Ring Weekend underneath, and Delta Prince are going to be my 4 in this race. I'm a little scared of Mark Casse and Florent Geroux, but Tower of Texas and Ring Weekend, I'm going to go with some 2 closers, some speed in Conquest Panthera and Delta Prince. I think that's the way to go about it in the Grade 2 King Edward. All right, that's going to lead us to our first break. When I come back, we will look towards 2 more stakes races at Woodbine on Saturday, so stay tuned.
I'm Seth Merrill. Join Brian Addo and me Saturday, June 30th and Sunday, July 1st as OTB TV goes on the road again to Toronto, Canada, broadcasting live from Woodbine for the 2018 Queen's Plate. We'll handicap the day's races and have exclusive interviews with some of the top handicappers, trainers, jockeys, and racing personalities on either side of the border. That's Saturday, June 30th and Sunday, July 1st, broadcasting live from Woodbine for the 2018 Queen's Plate.
And welcome back to the Capital OTB Stakes Preview. Sully Karate in here talking about the stakes on June 30th. We went over the Mother Goose and the King Edward already. We're going to move on to our third stakes. That is the Dan Smartly. Race number 8 at Woodbine Saturday afternoon, a Grade 2 event, 1.25 miles on the turf course. And these are one of my favorite races to bet at Woodbine. It's such an interesting turf course, and this is such an interesting one-turn, 1.25 miles because the turf course there is phenomenal. And so they have a really nice field here. Again, some notable names that some people will probably recognize from the NYRA circuit and other parts of America here. We'll start out with number 1. This is a 10-horse field. Number 1 is Dream Dancing, 8-1 on the morning line. Florent Geroux up for Mark Casse. This horse is going to be coming off the pace as well. We're going to see that for a lot from Florent Geroux this afternoon up at Woodbine and Mark Casse. He's winning 26% of his starts up at Woodbine, 15% graded stakes. This horse, the last 5 or 6 starts, I thought ran great. You know, it doesn't look great the sixth place finish last time at 29-1, but race against some phenomenal horses in that Grade 1 event at Belmont Park. Lost to a Raving Beauty, who was a big favorite. Proctor's Ledge took a lot of money, and Wall took a lot of money. This horse came in 6 by a length and a quarter at 29-1 against a very, very good field. A lot to like here with the closing speed on this very interesting 1.25 mile Grade 2 event. Number 2 is Mythical Mission, 15-1 on the morning line. Grand Motion, John Velasquez is up. To me, I think this horse is just a little bit over it. This horse raced at Delaware Park. Won by a length as a huge favorite that day and an optional claimer. Ran in an allowance race 2 starts back, took a lot of money. Jose Ortiz was up. Switch barns to the Grand Motion barn. You know, you always got to give the horse a chance because of Grand Motion. He's so sneaky in these stakes race spots. But this horse, you know, I think really does have to improve off those last 2 starts. Looked great in 2017, but really the third start, you know, you got to give this horse maybe a little bit of a chance. But it took so much money the last 2 times and raced against so much weaker last time out at Delaware Park. Number 3 is Saba, 15-1 on the morning line for Roger Atfield. Is going to make the first start here at Woodbine after running in France throughout the whole career. Roger Atfield 0 for 3, taking horses from overseas to North America. But off the layoff, he's phenomenal. And first-time Lasix, he's even better. This horse is dropping a lot of poundage. This horse I thought the last 2 or 3 starts has looked great, including a couple wins in there. Going from 128 pounds to 116 pounds, a first-time Lasix, Roger Atfield wins 22% of his races. And off these long layoffs, he's winning also 22% of his races. This horse has been working extremely well at the Woodbine surface, including that June 10th, 3 out of 23, 5 furlongs in a minute and 3 breezing. So a lot to like here. The one thing that scares me about this horse, I think this horse wants to go a little bit longer of a distance than 1.25 miles, and the 0 for 3 first-time starts in North America are a little bit concerning. Number 4, Liberty Kitten going out for Zilly Racing, 20-1 on the morning line. Dave Moran is up. This horse, you know, I think a lot needs to go right for this horse to be competitive in here. Looked great last time out. I think can run in a couple graded stakes. I think this is just too tough of a field for this horse, and this horse is going to stretch out from 1 mile, 1 by 2 lengths on the lead. There's a lot of other speed in here. This horse ran that race perfectly last time out, a 25-2 and a 50 half. No one's going to catch that horse on the lead there. You know, I think a lot needs to go right for Liberty Kitten. Number 5 is Holy Helena, a horse that we're all familiar with from the NYRA circuit. Won the Grade 2 event 2 starts back, came in 5th by 2 1/4 behind 4-star Crook in the Grade 2 New York. Also, Daddy's Little Darling and Sister Charlie were in that race. This horse, 8 for 10 lifetime, over $1 million with 6 wins, 3 for 4 in 2018, with that one loss being last time out. You're getting a really nice price here at 5-2 for Jimmy Jerkins. Luis Contreras is up as well. Coming to Woodbine for the first time, I don't think will be a problem. The distance is definitely not a problem. I think the longer the race, the better for this horse. We saw this horse look great at a mile. We saw this horse stretch it out to 1 mile and 3/8, 3/16, a mile and a quarter last time out. I think that experience at the mile and a quarter can make Holy Helena very, very dangerous for Jimmy Jerkins. Number 8, Starship Jubilee. Enrique De Silva is up. He's winning 25% of his races for Kevin Attard as well, 18% winning percentage. This horse raced at the mile distance. Another horse, I think the stretch out will be so beneficial for this horse. Horse is 1 for 1 at the distance. The mile and a 16th, this horse looked great. I thought going into that grade 2 event, even though this horse went off as a huge favorite, I thought the mile distance was too short for this horse, and the horse came in 4th that day. This horse wants to sit right off the stalk in a stalking roll and then pounce late in the top of the stretch, and needs a longer distance to do that. Needs a fast pace and a longer distance, and this horse is going to be very tough to beat. This horse lost to Martini Glass, Glory to Kitten, and some nice other ones. Cadora is in that mix as well. So this horse, again, had a nice winning streak going in to Woodbine last year. Lost to Dan Smartley last year as well. Actually, winner of the Dan Smartley last year, so defending champion here for Kevin Attard. So I think a lot needs to go right. That was a perfect race for this horse, a 24-2 and a 48-4 last year in this race. So again, I think needs the same fraction. Spires-wise is probably the best on this page, or in this race. So again, Starship Jubilee, 6-1 offers some value, defending champion of this race. Number 7, Inflexibility, 4-1, going up for Chad Brown, Javier Castellano. A lot to like here for this horse. This horse looked great in the optional claimer, took a lot of money, lost to a Raving Beauty, who did win the next time out as well. Looked great. I think off this layoff, Chad's going to have this horse ready. Chad's winning 24% of his stake starts. He's had 271 stake starts. He's winning 24% of them. When the horses are on a little bit of a layoff, he wins 29% of his races. So these are very, very impressive stats for Chad Brown and Klarovich. A lot to like here. Javier, Klarovich, Chad Brown on the turf. A lot to like, and a lot of things we're familiar with in the NYRA circuit. Number 8 is Santa Monica, 3-1 on the morning line. Another Chad Brown starter. Jose Ortiz is up, and this horse wants absolutely nothing to do with the pace at all. May wait in the gate and let everybody else go in front of him, because this horse wants absolutely nothing to do with the lead. This horse can close into very, very slow paces. We saw that at Keeneland, was sitting 8th by 5 1/4 on a 51.5 and won by 4 lengths. Last time out, could not get to the wire. Very nice race, same thing, ran a 50.5. It's tough to close into a 50.5. This horse is probably going to sit the exact same race as we saw at Keeneland. So, again, I really think that this horse, a lot to like here, especially the closing speed. And you always get these Chad Brown horses catching you at the wire, taking a little bit of money, and you're getting a really nice price. We're a really nice turf rider and a really nice turf trainer. Number 9 is Blechy, 10-1 on the morning line. Patrick Husbands and Mark Cassidy teaming up again. A horse that came in second last time out, and another horse I think will benefit off of a stretch out. Horse was closing late that day in that grade 2 Nassau. That was a mile race on the grass, a mile and a quarter. I think this horse will appreciate. Number 10 is Flower Fashion, 20-1 on the morning line. Christophe Clement, Joel Rosario, the most balanced horse on paper behind Dream Dancing, the one horse. This horse, I think, is probably going to try to get to the lead. This horse was leading by 11 lengths last time out at Belmont Park. 11 lengths. And ended up just playing Catch Me If You Can, and no one caught the horse at 4-1. Horse won by a neck. Is going to go to Stakes Company for the first time since the Commonwealth Oaks last 3 starts back. Came in 5th that day. So I think this horse could be a little interesting, especially if it plays Catch Me If You Can, and no one wants to come with this horse on such a weird 1-turn mile and a quarter turf race. So that's the 10-horse field here in the Dan Smartley. A very, very competitive field here. I'm going to go with the Chad Brown horse, Santa Monica, the deep threat closer in this race. 3-1, Jose Ortiz, as I said. This horse can run against some very slow fractions and can be very, very dangerous. 3-1, Chad Brown, a lot to like. Starship Jubilee in the second spot for me. Horse is going to have a nice stalking roll. I hope we'll sit second or third off, maybe push the pace, set up the race for Santa Monica, and still get a piece with Enrique de Silva and Kevin Attard, the defending champion, Starship Jubilee. Holy Helena in the third spot for me, 5-2 on the morning line. I think this horse is going to get killed in the odds board. Going to try to beat this horse with a better price that may get ignored out of the Chad Brown barn. And then I'm going to put Dream Dancing in there, Mark Cassie, and Florent Giroux. Again, I have this horse in the fourth spot. Maybe kicking myself. This horse is so low in my mix, and I might be kicking myself. I don't have Bletchy and Inflexible in my mix. So, again, I'm going to put Santa Monica on top out of the Chad Brown barn as well. I'm going to try to beat Holy Elena. Very nice betting race is race number 8 at Woodbine. Moving on to race number 9. Race number 9 on Saturday afternoon at Woodbine. This is the Highlander, a Grade 1 event, $250,000 on the line. They're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. And this is a very, very nice field as well. Field of 10, we'll try to go through it quickly as we have to go 16 horses in the Queen's Plate. But number 1 is Axtell, 15-1 on the morning line. You get Luis Contreras aboard. This horse stepping up to Greatest Stakes Company. You know, I think this horse, a lot needs to go right. This horse has to play Catch Me If You Can. Could barely do that last time out. Took a lot, went off as 15-1. Stepping up to Greatest Stakes Company. You know, I think this horse is just a little bit over its head here. Number 2 is Imprimis, 5-2 on the morning line. Joseph Orsino's in town with Joel Rosario, and he's been riding. His horse has been racing extremely well at Gulfstream Park at the championship meet and in the spring-summer meet as well. So a lot to like here. This horse is going to get to the lead. Joel Rosario looked great last time out, winning by 6 lengths for Joseph Orsino. 5-2 offers a little bit of value here. Number 3 is Cornithia Knight. Horse is coming overseas for the first time, was racing in France, Great Britain, and Ireland throughout the career, dropping a lot of weight here. They're putting the blinkers on for the first time. The Connection's putting the blinkers on for the first time. They're 0-2. First time Lasix, 0-2 as well. In the graded stakes, they're 0-1. So, you know, I just think on this horse is going to get to the lead, dropping a ton of pounds, dropping about 12 to 14 pounds here is this horse. But this horse has won 4 races in 2018, so this horse probably with the bug weight is going to get to the lead. Let's see if anyone pushes this horse. Number 4, Holding Gold, 8-1 on the morning line. Cassie and Velasquez teaming up. Horse ran in the Grade 2 event at Belmont Park, going 6 furlongs. You know, I usually like betting horses that are kind of run well off the pace, and this is one of those horses. Lost a Disco Partner and Conquest Tsunami last time out. Is going to come off the pace as well. I think this horse at 8-1 is very, very dangerous here, especially with the amount of speed in the sprint race. Number 5, Lady Alexandra, horse that I liked the last time out, winning that license fee at 8-1. I'm going to put this horse on top again with Jose Ortiz and Graham Motion. As I said, Graham's always very sneaky on these big race cards. He sends a lot of horses up or goes wherever he needs to go with a lot of his horses and takes a lot of purse money, offers a lot of value with Jose Ortiz aboard. Going to make the second start after that long layoff since leaving the since taking that layoff from Saratoga last year. Number 8, Long on Value, a horse that we are all familiar with as well in the Nair circuit. Another horse that I think can make a lot of noise in this race because of the closing speed. With the amount of speed in this sprint race, the closing speed is going to be deadly. Florent Giroux, Brad Cox. Can't say enough about Brad Cox. 30% winning percentage, 19% winning percentage in graded stakes, and this horse has not been working like a closer whatsoever. Long on Value has been working like a speed horse who wants to sprint. And the beauty of this is this horse wants nothing to do with the lead. Florent Giroux is aware of that. This horse was sitting 15 lengths off 2 starts back and won a race. Came in 3rd that day. Very, very impressively behind World Approval and Lancaster Bomber in the Woodbine Mile. Number 7 is Enrican Road. 20-1 on the morning line. Dave Moran is up. Another horse I think is just over its head here. Can run in a couple stakes races. You know, this Grade 1 event sprint, this horse wants to get to the lead. But if this horse runs like it did 3 starts back, 20-1, this horse can upset this field. This horse lost by 2 lengths to Pink Lloyd, who's probably won 12 races in a row in Canada. The 1-4 at Woodbine does shy me away, though, however. If it runs like it did 3 starts back, this horse is going to upset the field at 20-1. Number 8 is Belvoir Bay, 3-1 on the morning line. Peter Miller trains. Horse has won 3 races in a row. This horse is very interesting, and I have right in my mix in the 3rd spot. Now, I think this horse is the speed of the speed. I don't really know much about the horse coming in from France, but this horse probably is going to get to the lead. Abel's going to go from the outside stall, and so is Burrell Spirit. If this horse gets to the lead out of those 8, 9, and 10 stalls, this horse is probably going to set up the race perfectly for Holding Gold, and also Lady Alexandra, who I have winning and in second place. But if they don't, this horse is going to wire the field for Peter Miller. Number 9 is Abba, 15-1 on the morning line, a horse that needs to get to the lead. If it doesn't get to the lead, does not get to the winner's circle. This horse, 2 starts back. We have never seen this from the horse before or in a very long time. Did not get the lead and won the race. That was an optional claimer. Took a lot of money. Definitely needs to improve. Can't get stuck in the gate like it has throughout the career. Also, this horse, the outside stall, maybe a little bit of a question mark. This horse likes to sit on the rail or inside towards the rail to get to the lead. Number 10 is Burrell Spirit, 20-1 on the morning line. Jennifer Schaffer trains. 33% winning percentage for Schaffer. New trainer, going to make the 5th start here. And this horse, again, ran in an optional claimer last time out. Did win at 15-1, but a lot needs to go right for Burrell Spirit at 20-1. Again, this is the Highlander, a Grade 1 event, a nice 10-horse field. I went 5-6, 8-4. Number 5 is Lady Alexandra. Again, Grand Motion. He's going to be sneaky in here. I hope goes off at 6-1 for Jose Ortiz. Just the most balanced horse on paper. If it runs that 104 bar, which we saw last time out in that license fee stakes race at Belmont Park, it's going to be over, and you're going to get a very nice horse home. Number 6 is Long on Value, a horse that's going to be closing in this race, along with Holding Gold, who I have in the mix as well. I have those 2 horses underneath, Holding Gold and Long on Value, just because there's a lot of speed in this race. These horses could be coming late, and that's what they usually do. And then Belvoir Bay, I have in the mix as well. Potentially could wire the field, but I think it's going to be unlikely with the amount of speed, but could definitely hold on to get a piece. All right, that was our look at the next 2 races, race 8 and race 9. The Highlander was race number 9, and we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll look towards the 16-horse field in the Queen's Plate. Stay tuned.
I'm Brian Nadeau. Join me for my new show, Saturdays at the Spa, on OTB TV. I'll be live on the backstretch talking to some of the top trainers, jockeys, and racing personalities here in Saratoga. So join me right here at 10 a.m. each and every Saturday during the Saratoga Meet on the OTB TV network.
Welcome back to the Capital OTB Stakes Preview for June 30th. Again, we went through 4 stakes races already. The Mother Goose in New York. We also went through the King Edward earlier on this card, race number 6 on the Woodbine card. We went through the Dance Smartly, race number 8 on the Woodbine card. And then race number 9 was the Highlander, the Grade 1 Turf Sprint. We'll now end the stakes preview with race number 10, the highlight of Saturday's card. This is the Queen's Plate. This is for 3-year-old Canadian breds. $1 million on the line, going 1.25 miles on the synthetic. And this is a very, very interesting field. And we always get these big fields. You're going to get a price home. You are definitely going to get a price home in somewhere, one of your bets. I don't know which one, where it is yet. But I really think you could potentially get a price home because, to me, I'm not going to use one of the favorites in this race. And I'll get to that in a minute. I will get to that in a minute. However, let's start out with number 1, Boyhood Dream. 30-1 on the morning line. Alan Garcia is up for Mike Maker. Mike Maker and the Ramseys teaming up. And what better training owner combination has there been besides maybe Klarovich and Brown and some others in the Naira circuit with Paulie Fletcher? But they have been phenomenal together. They won. I can't even give you a percentage of races they won at the championship meet. Maiden races, maiden claimers, allowance optional claimers, stakes races, graded stakes races. They were winning. Felt like winning them all at the Gulfstream Park Championship meet. This horse, I think, is a little bit over its head. This horse raced in a stakes race last time out. Came in 4th that day, lost to Telekinesis, Rose Vision, and ahead by a century. All horses who are in this field. It's going to try the distance for the first time. You never know when you got the Ramseys and Maker and Alan Garcia. Could make a late run. I just think it's very unlikely here. This horse ran a very nice bull on June 23rd, though. So this horse is ready to run, and the barn knows it. Look at that work. A bullet of 1 out of 49. 5 furlongs and 59-1. Number 2 is Cooler Mike, 30-1 on the morning line. A horse that won last time out at 3-1. Getting no respect here. Lost to Kratos 2 starts back. Going to make the first greatest stake start. Going to make the first stake start since December of last year. That was a $125,000 race. This horse, just buyers alone, does not. They're a little light here. I think this horse needs a lot to go right. And this horse is going to try to wire the field. There is some other speed in this race. This horse is running the money 5 of 7 times. At 30 to 1 is Cooler Mike. Number 3 is Inge, 30 to 1 on the morning line. Chantel Sutherland is up for Norm McKnight. 40% winning percentage for Norm McKnight. Norm McKnight is on absolute fire. This horse rated in the Grade 3 Marine last time out. Tried to get to the lead. You know, the mile and a quarter, I think, is the right spot here for this horse. The mile and a 16th, the horse looked great at 2 starts back. To me, I think there's just a little too much better in here. Usually I'll put Norm McKnight's speed. I'll bet that any day of the week, but I think there's too much other speed in here. This horse is literally going to play catch me if you can, and 90% of the time they're going to catch this horse, and they have throughout the career. Number 4 is Strike Me Down, 4 to 1 on the morning line, 10 to 1 on the morning line, excuse me, for Jose Ortiz. Graham Motion again, very sneaky in here. I have this horse right in my mix. You're going to get a very nice price in here because on paper this horse wants to get to the lead, but if this horse runs like it did break in that maiden race, this horse was sitting 12 lengths off, going a mile and a 16th. Very fast fraction, set up perfectly for this horse, could not get it done. Then they tried this horse out a mile and a 16th last time out, came in second that day. So Graham said, let's send this horse into the Queen's Plate. Why not? Ontario bred. We're going to get Jose Ortiz up. So you always have a chance when you have Jose Ortiz. To me, you know, I'm going to use the horse to complete Superfectus because you're going to get a price here. This horse needs a lot to go right. And probably is going to sit right off the pace, and the pace is going to be hot. And, you know, the 4th spot, it's going to be perfect. This horse is going to sit right off the pace. The pace is going to be hot. Potentially can have a little kick left to finish 3rd or 4th. Number 5, Silent Poet, 30 to 1 on the morning line. The Stronach Stable Zones. Nick Gonzalez trains, 21% winning percentage for Gonzalez. This horse has been the favorite every start of the career. 2 for 3 lifetimes, 3 for 3 in the money, 2 for 2 in 2018. Looked great last time out at Woodbine. The stretch out is this big question mark for me. This is definitely a sprinting horse. I just want to try it out. It's Canadian bred. Why not enter it in the $1 million race? See what happens. You are the speed of the race. To me, the stretch out is just too much for this horse. The mile and a quarter from 6 furlong sprint on the grass, nonetheless. Just a lot needs to go right here for Silent Poet. Number 6, 50 to 1 on the morning line. Real Dude, again, going out for Stronach. It's at a Tard trains. Dave Moran is up. Another horse that, you know, I think a lot needs to go right. This horse is a closer, and which is great, but there's a lot of other closers in this race. The 6th spot and the 6th stall, I don't think will be a question. You know, that's a good spot to be for a closer. But if this horse sits 10 or 11 lengths off on this field like it did last time out, you'll never catch it. Still a maiden in this field, a lot to ask out of the Stronach and Sitatard. Number 7, Dixie Moon. This is one of the 2 fillies in this field. 4 to 1 in the morning line for Captain Dave Phillips. Captain Dave Phillips loves Dixie Moon. Dixie Moon looked great last time out. Enrique Da Silva is up. 25% winning percentage for Da Silva. 26% winning percentage in stakes races for Catherine Day Phillips. 17% overall at this meet. Horse came in second by a neck 2 starts back to Miss Momentum. A very nice horse. This horse beat Warner Godot by a head as well. So, again, I think these 2 fillies are going to run huge races here this afternoon in the Queen's Plate. A lot to like with the jockey, the trainer, and the horse itself. This horse, you know, I think it's not going to get to the lead. I think the distance is absolutely perfect for this horse. The mile and 1/8 looked like no problem at all. The winner by a head of the Woodbine Oaks. The Marina's alternative route, 8 to 1 on the morning line. Mitch Morel is up for Albert Stahl. Al Stahl, he's going to make his first start here. 27% winning percentage overall in 2018. This horse is going to get to the lead most likely. This horse has been training well. I just think, you know, this horse raced 4th in the Arlington Classic, took a lot of money that day, and then raced at Fairgrounds. Really couldn't get anything done. Broke the maiden against much, much weaker. To me, even if this horse gets to the lead, this horse will get caught. I think this is a big ask out of the owners and out of Al Stahl. Number 9 is Say the Word, 20 to 1 on the morning line. Graham Motion again. You know, out of the couple Graham Motion horses in this field, you know, I'm going to side with Strike Me Down. Strike Me Down has raced in a couple stakes races, has looked okay here at Woodbine. Is 1 for 1 here at the Woodbine. Say the Word, you know, came in 3rd last time out in an allowance race. I just think they're just trying to see what this horse is capable of doing and see if they can get a potential stakes race start out of this horse sometime else down the road. Number 10, Telekinesis, the lukewarm morning line favorite. Stone Street owns. Mark Cassidy trains. Patrick Husbands is up. Horse looked great last time out. This horse is too short of a price for me to take. This horse raced at Keeneland, lost by a head, but look at the workouts for this horse. bullet after bullet after bullet after bullet. Sometimes this horse will wake up and run bullets. Sometimes this horse will run last on the charts. So it's really a hit or a miss here. Horse has all the potential in the world to wire the field for a trainer that loves Woodbine, for a jockey that loves Woodbine, and a horse that really has been working probably the best on this sheet as a whole. The best works as a whole. Mark Casse, after winning last time out, he's winning 20% of his starts, which is, an unbelievable number. Very nice betting race here in the Queen's Plate. Telekinesis, your lukewarm favorite at 5-2. Number 11 is Warner Godot, 3-1 on the morning line, and I love Warner Godot. I have loved Warner Godot every start, ever since I saw her in person at Woodbine last fall. I have loved Warner Godot in every one of her starts. She does everything right, but she's one of those horses. We say it. I feel like we talk about Warner Godot every week on the stakes preview. She's one of those horses where she needs room to run. If she's caught in the middle of this 16-horse field with nowhere to stretch her legs, she has nowhere to swing out, she's got nowhere to run on the rail, off the rail, in the middle of the pack, she can't spread her legs, she does not win. She had the perfect trip in the Kentucky Oaks, lost by half a length, then came back, lost by a head last time out. I think it's going to be very helpful she gets John Velasquez back in the irons. She has not won since December of 2017. But she's lost by a head, half a length, a nose, 3/4 of a length, 3/4 of a length, and a neck since the last time she has won. You are getting a very nice price on this horse. I was high on her in the Kentucky Oaks. She went off at 20-1, something like that, actually 17-1. And she loves Woodbine. She has raced so well at Woodbine throughout her career. She broke her maiden here. She won a graded stakes here. And again, she lost a grade 1 graded stakes here by 3/4 of a length. So this horse is raced against much better. I know she's a filly going against the boys, but I don't think that's going to matter. She is raced against the Monomoy Girl, who, as we know, Sassy Sienna, Chocolate Martini, Stronger Than Ever, Caledonia Road. And this horse, and she's beaten some really nice horses. And Mo Big Cat, Midnight Bisou, Amy's Challenge, Eskimo Kisses, Classy Act. So she's beaten a lot of nice horses, and as I said, she's just so consistent on everything she does. She just needs somewhere to run. Johnny V will get her all the room she needs from the outside stall. With Telekinesis is going to fly to the lead. Also, Pawnbroker, who we haven't talked about yet, at 50-1 is going to fly to the lead. She can just follow them, sit right behind them, and get a perfect stalking roll. She is the real deal here. I'm very, very high on her, but she does have a little bit of second-itis. She does not really like to get her picture taken. She tries her hardest, just never gets there. I think she gets there today. I have her on top. I absolutely love Warner Godot here, a filly in this Queen's Plate. Number 12, Pawnbroker. As I just said, Speed of the Speed from Mike Maker and the Ramseys. They got 2 entries here. Both of them probably very, very speed horses here. Joel Rosario is up. The horse did come in 4th last time out. Again, I just think they're going to see what this horse can do based off that last work. A really nice bullet posted. Number 13, Marriage Counselor. Again, Maker and Ramsey. Another speed horse. Again, I'm just trying to see. They're probably just trying to see if they can enter this horse in some other graded stakes, maybe pick up some purse money here. A lot needs to go right here. The horse looked great last time out, breaking the maiden at Woodbine. Tough to ask, maiden breaker into the $1 million Queen's Plate. Number 14 is Napawa, 15-1 on the morning line. I like this horse. I have this horse second in my mix behind Warner Godot. This horse is going to be a closing speed horse, has raced against Cooler Mike, and that was not the best trip at all. This horse was so wide, got checked about 12 times, and just couldn't win the win. The race was not in her favor. She could not win. She was wide. She got checked, and she had a ton of horse. She could just not get by in that allowance race. She took a ton of money, went off as even money after her really nice performance 2 back against Therapist and Speed Franco. Speed Franco has gone on to do some really nice things and win a stakes. Therapist did win that stakes 2 starts back at Gulfstream Park. A lot to like here out of the Mark Casse barn with Florent Giroux, of course. You always have to take a look when you get Florent Giroux up as well. Number 15, ahead by a century, Luis Contreras is up 15-1 on the morning line for John Ross. 9% winning percentage here. The horse looked okay last time out, not taking anything away, running 3rd behind Telekinesis and Rose's Vision. But this horse wants to come off the pace. I'm going to use other horses coming off the pace, like Strike Me Down. Warner Godot wants to come off the pace as well, and also Dixie Moon wants to come off the pace as well. So I had to pick and choose. If I could pick 5 horses in this spot, Ahead by a Century would be right there. My multiple tickets, pick 5s, pick 4s, pick 3s, doubles, especially pick 5s when 20-cent pick 5s up there. Take advantage of those. But especially when I do a pick 5 and it goes through and ends with this race, I am 100% using Ahead by a Century. This is definitely a horse to use in your multiples. This horse is definitely dangerous with Luis Contreras aboard. Number 16, 12 to 1 in the morning line, Rose's Vision. Javier Castellano up for Stuart Simon. Another scary horse. Another horse I wish I could use in my mix, given out publicly. But I'm going to use the horse in the multiples. So, again, I'm going to use Head by a Century and Rose's Visions in the pick 5s and pick 4s. Just cannot use in my top 4 because I'm so head over heel with Wonder Godot. This horse wants to run the exact same race as Wonder Godot. Needs somewhere to run. Outside stall, just needs to break well. And this horse has braked well about 8 of 9 times in the career, so that should not be an issue at all. The one question mark I have, I don't know if the 1.25 miles is the right distance. I know this horse looked great at the 1 1/8 last time out. The 1 16th, not a problem at all. The 1.25 miles scares me for a horse that I think the best distance for this horse is 1 mile to maybe a mile definitely, and probably 1 1/16. I'm not a big fan of the 1.25 miles here, but Canadian bred Stuart Simon is on fire, 14% winning percentage. Javier Castellano makes the trip up, 30% winning percentage in stakes races for both Castellano and Stuart Simon. So, again, I'm going to use the horse in my multiples, and my top 4, I had to pass. So, that is the 16-horse Queen's Plate field. Again, I'm going to do Wonder Godot on top. Wonder Godot on top in the Power. I think that's a really nice exacta. You're going to get a lot of money back with those horses. Number 7, Dixie Moon. I'm going to use both fillies. I think they're both the real deal. They both have the same kind of running style. I love Catherine Day Phillips. I think she's a very nice trainer, and I love Enrique De Silva. 25% winning percentage up there. A lot to like at 4 to 1 for Dixie Moon, the other filly in this field. And then number 4, Grand Motion, Strike Me Down, 10 to 1 in the morning line. Jose Ortiz on the grass. This horse, I think, is probably the wise guy horse in here at the complete trifectas and supers. Again, I need Wonder Godot. If she gets her room to run like she did in the Kentucky Oaks, she will win this race. She just needs somewhere to stretch her legs. She does not like to be caught in the middle of packs. She 99% of the time she'll have her perfect trip, and just it won't be her day. She'll lose by half a length. She'll lose by nose. She'll lose by head, which we saw the last 2 starts. So again, I just think if she runs her race, she's going to be tough to beat. And here, I think she's racing against much better. Fought Monomoy Girl tooth and nail, who's arguably a top 6 horse, top 5 horse right now, and she's a filly. So I think Wonder Godot is the real deal out of the Cassie barn. All right, that's going to wrap things up again for the stakes preview. Sully Crotty in here. We took a look at 4 races at Woodbine and also the Mother Goose. A lot of good action this weekend. So best of luck to everyone betting at Belmont Park and at Woodbine this weekend. Reminder, this morning, Handicappers Report live from Woodbine Racetrack. Seth, Merrill, and Brian, they start at 8 o'clock. RAA is at 9 o'clock as well. Sunday, they will do the same thing just a little bit later. 8:30 in the morning is the start of the Handicappers Report with Seth and Brian, again, live from Woodbine for Queen's Plate weekend. 9:30 to 10:30 is Handicappers Report with Seth on Sunday morning, July 1st. Also, Saturday, June 30th, Queen's Plate Day here at the Clubhouse Racebook. I will be here running it. First 50 patrons get a Woodbine hat, a racing program, the Jim Bannon Journal, and a $2 bet voucher. So come on down. I will be here. Come say hello. It should be a great day. Great racing in New York. Great racing in Canada as well. We have you covered. Again, morning shows of Queen's Plate Day, the 30th, with Steph and Brian. Handicappers Report starting at 8 a.m. Also, we will have nighttime thoroughbred racing. We will be accepting him on July 4th as well, and also this whole entire weekend. From Friday to Sunday, we will be taking nighttime thoroughbred, so take advantage of that. Again, I know beating an old drum here, but take advantage of OTB on the road, live at Woodbine for the Queen's Plate. Just want to thank our friends at Woodbine for their sponsorship. Woodbine, pick, bet, and cheer on great racing north of the border. And also Saturday the 30th is the last day for the Churchill Downs bonus. This is account wagering and player awards. Wager $200 or more in wagers on multiples or exotics. You receive a 3% bonus. You must be enrolled in player rewards. There's more information at capitalotb.com. Again, that ends Saturday the 30th, the Churchill Downs bonus, 3%. 3% bonus when you wager $200 more on multiples and exotics. That's going to wrap things up for this weekend. Again, very nice racing in New York. Nice cards in New York. Unbelievable card at Woodbine. Good luck at both spots. We'll see you next week.